discussing goals. You know, when you're working on a project, you usually think about the goals of the project. So, and there are many expressions, vocabulary that people usually use when they talk about goals. So we will be learning about this. Well, and then on the left, you can see the links which you told me that you could open. The video platform requires a password. You have the password, and so every time we do an exercise with a video, I tell you, okay, please go to video class 1, for example, today, and you will watch the video in this platform from your computer.
Okay.
Exactly. We will do it like that.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Do you have any questions?
Now, how many units do we have?
So there are going to be 4 units. Exactly.
Okay,
it's
4 units.
1 unit per month.
Okay. Perfect.
Exactly. So
8
this
classes per month. Okay.
Right. Good. So this is the first month, and once we reach unit 8, before we reach unit 8, we will share the material for the next unit. So the main objective or the main goal of this methodology is to have a clear idea of what are the topics and what are our goals, and also because I will be offering feedback, okay? And then also at the end of the unit, you will receive a score for your performance, okay?
Very nice.
So, right, so there is going to be like a short-term follow-up, and it's going to be, like I said, and it's going to be scored every month, right?
Every month, okay.
So you have an idea of how much you learned, not only in terms of numbers, because as I said, you will receive a score, but also in terms of, you know, the content, because you will be corrected, and you will also receive a report with comments about your performance. So this is more like, I don't know if you've heard the term continuous learning or continuous improvement.
Not really, but I got it. Yes.
Okay. This is a type of technique that is used in Finland. You know that Finland is has the best education in the world, and this is how teachers follow up on their students. You know, instead of waiting until the end of the semester or the end of the year, they offer their students feedback, so students are aware, right, of how much progress they've made. And this is really important, because if you have to wait so long, then you're lost in the middle. You don't know how much you've learned, or if you know exactly what areas you have to improve, so you can, you know, work on that. For example,
you have time to make changes or
exactly
improve
to make changes. Right, and this is also translated into the area of work. It's called agile methodology. Have you heard about it?
I heard it, but I didn't know what was about.
What it was about, right? So the agile methodology is basically, you know, proposing goals, right? But checking the progress, you know, in the short term, like weekly or every 2 weeks, instead of waiting until the end of the month, for example. Because if you need to fix something, literally, that is the reason. If you need to repair or fix something, you do it on the right time. Like, you don't wait until it has become a big problem.
A big problem,
right. It's a very useful methodology because it helps people to become more effective, you know, in every process that they go through.
Good. Excellent.
Great. Fantastic. Okay, so let's get hands-on work, and I'm going to share the class for today. Okay, just a second. Wrong screen. All right, I have them all open here. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
So you also have these PDFs. So for example, after our class today, if you want to review it,
Okay.
or if you want to check the PDF, you can do that.
Excellent.
Okay. Hi, Gabriel. Good morning.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Good
Welcome.
morning.
All
Hello.
right.
Thanks.
Welcome to our class. How are you today?
So, very sick.
Oh, that's not good news.
Okay.
Okay. So we were about to start, Gabriel. So you arrived just on time. Before we start, Thomas, could you please introduce yourself to Gabriel?
Yes, of course. Okay, I'm Thomas. I'm 39 years old. I'm an accountant. I live in La Calera, Córdoba. What else? I work as a finance manager in a factory near the airport. I don't know. I'm trying to improve my English.
Okay, great, fantastic. And Gabriel, could you please introduce yourself?
Yes, okay. Can you hear me? Yes
Yes,
or no?
we can
Yes?
hear you perfectly.
Okay. So, my name is Gabriel. I'm from La Quiaca. I have two daughters, Gabriela and Agustina. I am a teacher. I like to travel for Latin America. Uh, so, and now I need to improve my English in this area about business.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Gabriel. And well, I will briefly introduce myself so that we become more integrated as a group. Hello, my name is Amelia. I'll be your English teacher for this course on business. And I hope the experience is very enriching. Okay. And I've been teaching English for more than 10 years now. And I've been working with business training for more than 7 years now. And I explained to Thomas in the first class that this study program took place, like I said, back in the days, 7 years ago, when I started working for corporations, and I identified that many people had learned English, but they didn't have the skills to be part of a fluent conversation with their clients or with business negotiations. So that's why we decided to create this program, and it worked really well. So that's the reason why now through the Belgrano University we are teaching this program, and it's a great experience for you.
Okay, thanks.
Alrighty, very good. So let's move on. And we're going to get started with an activity, okay, to break the ice before we move into the content of the class today. Here you can see the alphabet. Next to it, next to each letter, you can see an expression. Okay, these expressions are used in conversation to connect ideas. You know that when we are thinking about the next sentence, we can say, I'd say, well, okay, so when we use these phrases, we avoid silence, okay, so we can connect ideas more fluently. Let me show you an example of what we are going to do. So I'm going to tell you a letter. Of course, I will go back to the previous slide.
Okay.
And for example, Thomas, you will start a casual conversation. It could be about anything, casual. And depending on the letter I tell you, as in this example, for example, if I say letter I goes with the phrase I'd say, and then you continue talking. And then I will say, okay, Gabriel, letter B, for example. And then he will start his sentence with the phrase and so on. So we are going to try to practice a little bit of improvisation and fluency with
Okay.
these expressions. All right, very good.
Yeah.
Very good. So let's go back here. Okay, great. So, Thomas, please go ahead with letter W.
Well, I'm trying to get better with my flu. Can I say?
Okay, great, very good. Okay, okay, and Gabriel now will continue with letter F.
Fine, but you have to study very hard.
Okay, and now with letter M, Gabriel, please.
Uh, uh,
Oh, sorry, Thomas. Letter M, Thomas.
Okay.
I meant Thomas.
I think I will be late for work.
Okay, and now Gabriel with letter S.
so that I I'll do the same for this course.
Okay, good. Very good. Excellent, amazing. So it looked like a crazy conversation,
Yeah.
but the point was to break the ice, and I achieved my goal. Okay, great. So moving on, we are going to first discuss the vocabulary from the video. Gabriel, excuse me, one question. Could you open the video platform?
No, yet.
Okay, I can, don't worry, because I can go ahead and share the link here on the chat. Let me use the chat. So this is the link.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know if you got it.
In the chat we can.
Uh,
Take it.
I just, if you could open, Thomas, the video, the link, sorry, the platform, it's okay. I was just sharing the link again to Gabriel
Okay.
so that he can open. So this is how it should look. Okay, just one brief second because I'm sure that you know how it's supposed to be displayed on your computer. When you open the link, it will ask you for a password, right? And the password arrived in your email. I'm not sure, Gabriel, did you receive the email with the materials?
Yes.
Okay. So once you type in the password, right, you can see this, right? The name of the module and then the videos. You don't need to download the videos. You just simply click the video and the video starts, right, running, and you watch the video in the platform. You don't need to download it. Okay, let me know, Gabriel, if you could open the platform.
Yes, I can.
Okay, fantastic. Very good. So today we will be working with class 1. Okay, this one, this video. Right. Okay, fantastic. So don't play the video yet. Wait for me 1 second because I want to discuss with you the vocabulary. Okay, so we're back to the presentation. Okay, so I'm gonna ask each one of you to read the expression out loud, and we will try to think of examples, right, to use these expressions. Thomas, could you please start with the first one on top?
Yes. Okay. Set goals. Establish goals.
Okay, very good. So set is a synonym of establish. You know that establish is a more transparent word, but if you speak with native speakers, you know that they usually use words that are not transparent, like this one, for example, sept. You need to understand what it means. Okay, can you think of any example with this phrase, Thomas? An example about yourself.
Okay. Probably today we will be setting goals
Okay, great
for the next
example.
week.
Great, fantastic. Thank you so much. And Gabriel, could you please read the next one?
Yes, a ship get obtained. And for example, I can say they must achieve fluency to obtain the prize.
Okay, great example. Very good. And then the next one, please, Thomas.
Have a good balance, have a good equilibrium.
Right, balance. Balance is a
Balance.
synonym of equilibrium, but nobody usually will say equilibrium, right? People use the word balance.
Yeah.
Okay. Any example coming to your mind?
Okay. Ideal work should have a good balance between work and free free time.
Great. Fantastic. Great. Thank you so much. And then the next one, Gabrielle, is overworked, which is an adjective.
Yes. Okay, overworked, doing more work than you're supposed to.
Right.
I think maybe as an adjective. Uh, mm,
Someone can be
a ver,
overworked or feel overworked.
yes, during this year, uh, they will be overworked.
Okay, that's a really good example. Fantastic. Okay, the next one, please, Thomas.
Spread the word,
Right.
extend the information to more people.
Fantastic. Very good. Spread the word, right? It's
Spread
like
the
an
word.
idiomatic expression.
Spread the word. Okay. I told my friends to spread the word about my new house, my new home.
Okay. Right. And then you will have people willing to participate in a barbecue. Okay, but you want to celebrate the occasion. That sounds like a great plan. Okay, please, Gabriel, could you read the
Other
next one?
one.
Yes, bite the bullet, accept something difficult, and try to live with it. Uh, uh, Calm down, or maybe take it easy. Bite the bullet.
Right, you bite the bullet.
Ah,
Bullet
bullet,
is no problem. The bullet is what comes inside a pistol, right? Is the thing you use to kill someone, or so when you shoot with a gun, right? What comes out is a bullet.
bullet.
Bite the
And
bullet.
it's an expression. It means like when you are in a situation that is uncomfortable, but you have to go through it. You don't have a choice. You say, okay, just bite the bullet and go on because it will be over soon, right? It's like accept the situation and worry it will be finished soon,
Very good. I didn't
right?
know it.
You didn't know it, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the next one, please, Thomas.
Sort of, kind of. Um, I think the pizza is a sort of pasta.
Okay, there you go. Sort of pasta, great. And the next one, please, Gabriel.
Yes, aim at going in the direction of
Right.
uh, mm, my aim at to go England the next year.
Okay, right. So typically in this case, excuse me, Gabriel, you use aim as a verb. So you can say, I aim at traveling to England, or I aim at
My
taking this course. It's a verb, aim,
okay,
right?
okay.
Can
I'll aim at maybe
I'll aim at, yes. And how do you continue?
at the school or the high
Okay,
school.
at the completion of this course. Okay.
Okay.
And the last one, Thomas?
Properly,
Right,
correctly.
right.
Um, I hope how to finish this class speaking properly the new vocabulary.
Okay, very good. Excellent. Fantastic. Great work. So what we're going to do now is we're going to, excuse me, before we move on, we're going to, you will play, sorry, the video as I explained earlier. And as you could see, there are 4 people, right? The first person, the blonde lady. The second person, the man with glasses. The third person is the woman with glasses. And the fourth person, the young lady. Then you will see that there are other people, but these are the first 4 people that appear on the video. So please, if you could please watch the video and focus on the answer, because they will answer the question, what are your goals? Okay, try to collect their answer and we will discuss their answers in class. Okay, I will give you some time. I will suggest you to turn off the microphone so that the sound doesn't come in through the platform.
Okay.
All right, ready to check?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Gabriel, are you ready to?
The mic.
Yes, you should click on the microphone again so that you turn it on, Gabriel. Great.
Now, yes.
Terrific. Great. So, okay, so what about the first lady? Do you remember, Thomas, what did she say?
Why? I don't.
No problem. Okay, which person answer do you remember?
I remember the lady with the glasses.
Okay, what did she say?
She's going to follow her dream, I think.
All right.
And I think she said bite the bullet.
Right, yes.
and
She said that she had to bite the bullet.
she had to bite the bullet, and she will be starting arts, I think.
Art. Yes, that's true. Great. Very good. And what about you, Gabriel? Which of these people could you collect the answer from?
Uh, okay, number two.
Number two?
Yes, he talked about a small business. He wanted to expand it. And I heard the phrase "spread the word."
Okay. And he used the phrase spread the word. Did you hear what kind of business does he specifically have?
Uh, a YouTube channel, maybe.
Right. Excellently. Yes, a YouTube channel. Great. Very good. So the people, all these people answered the question, what are your goals? And if I ask you, Thomas, what are
Yes.
your goals? What would be your answer?
My goals this year, I mean for the last month of this year, will be to improve my English level,
Right?
finish the garden work in my home, the gardening work in my home,
Right?
and I don't know, try my have. I really want to have a good balance between work and life, and try to work less and enjoy more my new home. And I don't know. I think
Right.
that are my
Okay.
goals for this year.
Those are your goals. Fantastic. Very good. And you used to have a good balance. Okay. And what about you, Gabriel? What are your goals?
Okay, in this part of the year, I have a good balance between my personal life and my work. Yes, I'm very tired, but
Right.
it's a good way to acquire this situation.
Okay. So this is what you would like to achieve, a good balance.
Yes,
Okay. That's right. Sometimes it's you are in the process and you try different things until you find what is the best way to, because it's not easy, right, to have a good balance sometimes when you are working with many projects, or when you have many hours or long hours of work. So it's not that simple sometimes, but it's good to propose it as a goal. As you could see on this slide on the right, you see on top need to, have to, and must.
Mhm.
So you can use these structures, okay, or these modal verbs when you talk about things, right? When you talk about your responsibilities, your obligations, okay, and many times people are not so clear about the difference between them. So typically need to is when something is important. For example, you say, okay, I need to improve my English, and I have this, and I want to do it this in this part of the year. So for example, for you, Thomas, this is what you need to do because this is the most important on top. Maybe for another person, okay, I need to work more hours to make more money. Okay, so usually need to is like very personal. Okay, it depends on where in the list of priorities you put that item. And then have to is something that you have to do. Okay, I have to be on time for the class. Okay, I have to participate. So these are personal obligations.
Obligations, yes.
Right. And then must, it's stronger than have to, okay? But the difference, especially with must, is that we typically don't hear people say, I must. Usually it's somebody else, like an institution or an organization that imposes this on you, right? For example, if you think of a school students must go to class wearing a uniform. Okay? So that will be the main difference between must and have to. You say, okay, I have to wear a uniform. It's because, okay, I am conscious and I make the decision. But it's not the same when someone says, okay, you must follow the rules. You must wear a uniform. You must be punctual. Usually somebody else is imposing it on you. I don't know if you have ever seen the signs about washing your hands. Yes, that usually are in the restrooms. Right, when you go to a restaurant, it says employees must wash their hands before returning to work. Right, it means that it's not their choice. Right,
it's not optional.
It's not optional. It's the company imposing this rule on the employee.
Good.
Right. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. And
It's
now,
very clear.
right, now based on this explanation, can we think of different examples? I would like you to think of examples related to your life so that it can be more meaningful.
Okay. For me, I will try to use must. I think it's not correct, but for me,
Give it a try. This is why we're here. Okay.
I must finish the garden before the rain starts.
Oh, okay.
Because
right.
all the grass that I put last week will disappear if I don't finish at time.
Right, exactly. So that is correctly used because it's a strong obligation. And you could also say I need to, because it's like
yes, I need to.
In the order of things, like I can do this later, I can do this later, but I need to finish, because if I didn't finish and it rains, it will mess up my work.
Right, yes.
Right. So, but must is correctly used. Great. Great example. And what about you, Gabriel? What example can you think of?
Okay. I need to change my goals because they are kind of bad ideas.
Okay. All right. Very good. Sometimes, our goals are not offering us the results we expect. So, as Gabriel said, we need to change it. So that makes sense. Great. Very good. And moving on here, what you can see are questions, right, that you can use in a conversation. So now we will try to develop a little bit more fluent conversation. You can use, as you can see below, you can see the vocabulary from the video. The title of this is "Let's Get Things Done." Right? What does it? What do you think it means when you say, "Okay, we need to get things done"? What does it mean?
For me, it means that we have to start working with
Right.
something.
We have to start working. Okay. And what about you, Gabriel? What does it mean? Let's get
Yes,
things done.
the same.
Right. The same, pretty much. Okay. And so what we are going to do, we are going to imagine, right, the following situation. Let's imagine that the two of you, Tomas and Gabriel, are working with a project, and the project is new. Okay, and you are going to talk about it. Imagine that you have a short meeting to talk about this new project, and you will exchange opinions about it, and you can use the vocabulary, not necessarily all the words, but some of the phrases, and then you can use the questions. Okay. The questions are good techniques, to keep a conversation going, and also to try to know more about what you need to do.
Okay.
Okay. Could you please, Thomas, read the questions out loud?
Okay, all the questions.
Yes, please, if you don't mind.
Okay. Is there any way you can
Mhm.
Mm.
I don't suppose you could.
Right?
Would you do me a favor and I wonder if you could would you mind in ing?
Mm-hmm.
I'd really appreciate if you could.
Okay, fantastic. Very good. Are you clear about the meaning of these expressions? For example, like, would you mind? Have you ever heard it?
Yeah.
Right?
It's
Would you mind?
yes.
Yes, Gabriel? Okay. And the only one thing to consider here is the structure. Would you mind checking the information before sending it? Would you mind helping me with the part of the work? Okay. That is how you typically build
Mm-hmm.
this question.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. And I
And the
want, yes,
sorry,
Gabriel, sorry, go ahead.
the last one is on the question.
The last one isn't a question. That's very true. I really appreciate if you could.
Good.
It's actually an indirect question. If you could finish what I asked you to finish,
Yeah.
okay? It's literally an indirect question. You know, we do it in Spanish too. Sometimes we put words in a way to
Mm-hmm.
convince the person to do something, but it's not the same. Okay, finish this. This is an order.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate if you could finish this. Okay, it sounds much better. Okay. Okay, so like I said earlier, we are going to do a short conversation. Imagine that you are starting with a project, okay? And let's try to contextualize the idea. So the project will be, imagine me, the teacher, has asked you to prepare a presentation about a topic, okay? And I gave you 1 week to do the presentation. So, well, you contact each other, you discuss about this project that you have to work on together, okay? Who would like to get started? Imagine that you're talking about it.
Hmm. Maybe. Hi.
Go ahead, please, Gabriel.
Thomas, I wonder if you could give me some ideas about the presentation.
Okay, Thomas, could you please answer? And
Sorry. Yes, yes. Yes, of course. I think we could talk about I don't know, difficult phrases to start a conversation.
okay,
Hmm. Uh, so, I sorry, I don't suppose you could find them in a dictionary.
okay, there you go. You're
Technical,
doing a great job.
technical dictionary.
In a dictionary.
Um, yeah, maybe we could find it there. Uh, but would you mind uh, would you mind telling me the difficult word for you?
Hmm. Okay, I think I done it. So now, uh, how we can work to uh, achieve this project?
Perfect.
I Is there any way you can take the first 3 units and I the other 2?
Okay, well, it's a good idea. We need to establish a kind of dynamic of work, maybe through internet, surfing internet.
Perfect.
Okay, very good. Excellent job. Fantastic. It was a challenge because you had to use many things. Sometimes how do I fit this word here when you are, because you are thinking in your mind. Was it hard?
It was good.
It was good.
Good exercise, yes.
It was a good exercise. And what about you, Gary? How was it for you?
Thanks. For me, it's excellent idea to
Great.
share knowledge.
Share knowledge. Right. Yes, and you did a great job, and you're also you have to be creative to do this. But this is what will prepare you for the future, when you're in a conversation with someone, and, well, you know that the most difficult part, not only in English, but in any language, is when you have to ask someone in the context of formality, not a friend or a family member. When you have to ask people to do things, okay? You cannot be direct because it will be uncomfortable for the other person. Say, do this, finish this, send me the email. So you can use these. I wonder if you could answer, right? I wonder if you could be ready with this report.
Very polite ways.
Very polite way, exactly. That is the point.
Yeah, I think my boss don't know these phrases.
Your
Yeah.
We should teach him these phrases
these
because
phrases.
probably I mean, I use it with my partners and with him, but in the other way, my boss is more imperative on the chat.
Oh, right. It's more imperative. Yeah, that's true. Yes, I've identified that some people have this way of communication,
Yes.
and usually the way that the other people receive it, it's not the best way because nobody likes to be instructed.
That's
Right?
right.
Even though you know it's your job and you have to do that, but it's how you feel about it, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right? Politeness should always be present for people to feel comfortable, and they will probably do their job feeling much more happily about it.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Okay, so now we're going to do a little bit of reading. Okay, and here you will find these structures that we talked about, like need to and have. Okay,
Okay.
and the title is What Makes People Successful? Before we move into the text, what do you think, Thomas? What makes people successful in life?
In life, I think the most important thing is to be uh, I don't know if the word exists. Perseverant? No, it's not the word.
Yeah, it exists.
Okay.
Perseverant is the pronunciation.
Perseverant. Um, I mean, successful probably in different ways of life. I mean, in work, but in other situations also. Also in other situations. Be perseverant um, and hard work, I think.
Okay, to be perseverant and
Perseverant.
to be hardworking. So hardworking would be the adjective, the characteristic to define a person, and then hard work is the noun. You can say to do hard work.
To do hard work or be hardworking?
To be hardworking, excellent. Very good. And what about you, Gabriel? What do you think about what makes people successful?
Uh, in my opinion,
Right, in your view.
when they get or obtain their dreams. Yes,
Right.
uh, it include a hard work, uh, maybe suffering, and sometimes, but I think the most important is to do our goals, our dreams. Yes.
Right, exactly. I agree with you. You know that this is very, it changes a lot from person to person. So I have a dream, and you probably have a totally different dream or something similar to me. And that is what really makes people successful. Okay, so we are going to do some reading, right? You can read in silence, not necessarily out loud. So I will show you something, just a second, because this reading continues on the next slide.
Okay.
Okay, so I can leave it like this, and when you tell me ready, I will scroll down to the next slide.
Okay.
Okay, take your time to read.
Ready?
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. Okay, so now let's exchange. First, I would like to ask, it could be Tomas or Gabriel, any of you, to if you could briefly summarize what the text is about. Who would like to do this?
It explained different way to understand the word or the concept
Right?
successful. There are, in my opinion, three main ideas. The first related to values. The
Right.
second, uh, work, a way to work. And the third is related to natural abilities. So,
Okay. Great. Great
so
description. Great summary. Fantastic. Yes. And Thomas, what do you think about this? Do you agree with this perspective of success?
Yes, I think that in the first part, I mean, the common or general uh, feeling about success is for a lot of people to get rich, but the the way that this text explained it is not it's not that it's not the only way to feel or to be success. And they said that successful people, like we can read there, uh, for be a successful person,
Right.
you you should use your natural abilities in work and life and set goals.
Exactly.
And I think that's
Great.
a great way of be successful.
Right, yes, definitely. Many people want things, but they don't do anything about it. Like, for example, oh, I want to speak English better. Well, I go back to the topic because I can totally relate. Okay, but what are you doing in order to achieve your goal? No, not much. Okay, so there is the answer, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you have to set goals,
Yes.
and I was talking, Gabriel, before you joined us, that the way that we will be working is by setting goals. Okay, let me go back to, because this the brochure you got in your email is very clear topics that we will be discussing. Okay, can you see it? Can you both see it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So our goal for this month will be to learn about uh, projects. But in order to talk about a project, we have to learn, vocabulary structures and different ways to express your opinion about this topic. And then by the end of the unit, you will notice that you will be more fluent and you will have more vocabulary and expressions to talk about projects. So when we don't worry, when we reach class number 8, you'll clearly see that you have achieved the proposed goal, because we establish clear um, tasks, right? Right. Class number 1 will discuss about this. Class number 2. So at the end of the unit, we will collect the results of our hard work. All right. Great. So I will take just one little minute to share some feedback that I was writing while you were talking. Okay. I'll start with Thomas. Okay, so probably you are not aware of the pronunciation perseverant, right?
Perseverant, yes.
Right. Perseverance is the noun, and perseverant is the person. I'm very perseverant.
Good.
Right.
Good.
Very good. And the next one is to be, hardworking, right? Remember, it's the adjective, and to do hard work. Or you can say to work hard.
To work hard, yes.
That's another way to put it. To work hard.
Yes.
Right. And this is something I noticed when you both explained. Do not forget the S, the famous third person S. The text explains, right? Sometimes when we are, in the adrenaline of the conversation, we forget that when we use singular subjects like he, she, it, right? We need the third person, okay? And when you use for, right, Thomas, the next verb will go in the ing for being successful. Or you can say to. If you want to use the verb without the ing, you say to be successful.
For being to be successful.
Right. But not for be. So before ing or to.
For being a successful person. Okay.
Right. And for Gabriel, well, you were describing a situation in the past, so sometimes talked. Yes, the pronunciation of the ed. Okay, talked. Right.
Yes.
Okay, you mentioned get their dreams, and the Walt Disney slogan, make your dreams come true. Sorry, I meant true, not work, because sometimes I talk and I write, and
True.
make your dreams come true. So this is the most common expression people will use when they talk about, okay, I want to make my dream come true.
Okay.
Great. All right, so we have come to the conclusion of our first class. How did you
Nice.
guys feel? How was it?
Very good. I think it was very good. Very practical way to learn new vocabulary and new I don't know, things. So it was really nice.
Okay,
Very
I'm
cool.
happy to know that. It was a pleasure for me to
Thank you.
exchange opinions and to see you perform so well because you automatically got the idea and could put it into practice. And what about you, Gabriel? How did you feel today?
Relax and yes, I need to practice more.
Okay, but this is a start, so take it
Yeah,
easy.
but it was very good.
Okay, thank you so much. Hope you have a
Thank
very
you.
nice day and a good weekend.
Thank
Okay,
you too. Nice
Thank
to
you.
see you later.
bye.
Talk
See
to you
you.
next
Bye.
week on Tuesday. Bye bye.
Bye. See you.